Not a ton of bright and sunny news coming out about the economy and inflation and jobs. And joining me now to talk about that is John Carney, the Breitbart News finance and economics editor. John, here's Jerome Powell, and this doesn't sound good.
Inflation has increased notably and will likely remain elevated in coming months before moderating. Inflation is being temporarily boosted by base effects as the sharp pandemic-related price increases from last spring drop out of the 12-month calculation. In addition, strong demand in sectors where production bottlenecks or other supply constraints have limited production has led to especially rapid price increases for some goods and services, which should partially reverse as the effects of the bottlenecks unwind.
Oh, okay. John, what does any of that mean in English?
So what it means is prices have gone up a lot, more than they expected, but he does think that it's going to stop going up sometime in the unspecified future. They say it's going to be transitory, but they won't tell us when we get off the transit.
Okay, wow, that's really comforting from the Fed chairman. But why did they go up to begin with? I mean, I see a lot of people using a bunch of very vague terms when it comes to inflation and why we have it. Can anybody give me specifics on why the value of the money I have in the bank, as small as that may be, is going down?
Sure, I can give you a couple. One, we paid a huge amount of extra money into the economy over the last year. That was probably necessary in 2020 when we were shutting down big parts of the economy and throwing people out of work. But then we kept doing it this year. Remember in March, we passed a new stimulus, sent checks out to everybody. We also extended unemployment benefits. That was a mistake. We should have let the enhanced unemployment benefits run out. The economy was about to start recovering. And when you pump extra money into the economy, and at the same time, you still have supply constraint because you're paying people not to go to work, then that's a pretty good recipe for inflation. And that's what we're seeing right now.
John, you wrote an article about jobless claims rising unexpectedly to higher than $373,000 people. Why? Well, what's going on? Is this still the unemployment checks? Too many of them are coming. Why aren't people going back to work?
So yes, this was unemployment checks being higher than expected. It's since come down a little bit. And I think the reason it's started to come down is that we're seeing states, particularly Republican-led states, decide to end enhanced unemployment benefits, which pay an extra $300 a week to people who aren't in their jobs. They're deciding to end that early. They officially end nationwide in September. Some states ended them in June, and some are ending them during July. And what we're going to see is in those states, people will get back to work. Because look, if you pay people more than they would get working, they don't work. Not because they're lazy, not because there's something wrong with them, not because they don't believe in the dignity of work, but because it's the smart thing to do. If you're getting paid not to work over the summer, why not just have an extra summer vacation?
John, do we still have a free market? I mean, I understand we're not a full-blown communist country here, but do we still have a market that's free? Because anytime you talk or read your excellent articles or stuff like that, what I see on paper is so much government control. This chairman's determining this person's determining that. It doesn't sound like the market's determining all that much.
No, right now we are in a situation where everything from stock prices to interest rates to really businesses determining whether to expand or not is being decided on the basis of either fiscal policy from the federal government, monetary policy out of the Fed, and much less input into what's going on with private transactions. I agree with you. I think we're moving further and further away from a free market. We really do need to rethink this a little bit. I get it. You didn't want to just let the free market do what it was going to do when we were facing a national health crisis of the pandemic, and literally when we were throwing people out of work and shutting the doors of their workplaces. But it's time to start to retreat from that, time to start to rebuild back towards the market-based economy that we had and that was doing quite well from 2016 through the very beginning of 2020.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.